Hi friends, welcome back to Millennium English Literature Academy. I am Sren Visapa. In today's class, I am discussing the new criticism, especially about I.A. Richards, one of the main important new critics of 20th century. So I think this small video or video clip will help the candidates who are preparing for NET and SET English literature. Okay, thank you. I. Richards and T.S. Eliot are considered as the progenitors and fathers of new criticism. In his book, John Crowley Ransom says that the discussion of new criticism begins with only I.A. Richards. In his book, he said like this: the new critics mainly focused on poetry and the structure of the text. Now we discuss in detail that I.A. Richards means Ivor Armstrong Richards. He was born in 1893 and died in 1979. I.A. Richards was educated at Clifton College, Bristol and Magdalens College, Cambridge. He started teaching at School of English at Cambridge and a fellow of Magdalene College, Cambridge. He taught in China and USA and published 3 volumes of poetry, but he is primarily remembered as a literary critic and a teacher, not as a poet. He was a scholar of semantics and, along with C.K. Ogden, formulated a basic English. The Meaning of Meanings, which was published in 1923, written with C.K. Ogden, is an important contribution to linguistics. Means the meaning of meanings, it is the work written by I.A. Richards with collaboration of C.K. Ogden, published in 1923, is an important contribution to linguistics. His comment on language and on practical analysis are still valid. Now we look at his works. What are the main important works of I.A. Richards? The first work is The Meaning of Meaning, published in 1923. Second one, The Principles of Literary Criticism, 1924. 3. Science and Poetry, published in 1926. 4. Practical Criticism, published in 1929. 5. Coleridge on Imagination, published in 1934. 6. The Foundations of Aesthetics, published in 1922. So these six are the main important works written by I.A. Richards. These 6 works gave their own contribution to the history of English literary theory, especially to the modern criticism. In his Principles of Literary Criticism, he set out to establish a theoretical framework for criticism for which would free it from subjectivity and emotionalism. He proposes to a psychological theory of art Art is valuable because it helps to order our impulses. In the chapter, The Phantom Aesthetic State, he says that the aesthetic experience is not a new or different kind of thing. It is similar to ordinary experience. According to Richards, the two pillars upon which a theory of criticism must rest are an account of value and an account of communication. Richards believed that the human has developed because it is an instrument for communication. The arts are supreme form of the communicative activity. Literary criticism should concern itself with value. Richard believes that arts for art's sake is wrong. The critic is and as closely occupied with the health of the mind and as the doctor with the health of the body. He says that the function of art is to organize to impulses. The effect of art is the resolution, interanimation, and balancing of impulses. And then we discuss what are the views of Richardson on language. So, for especially to English language, Richardson had given his own contributions. The foundation of aesthetics was co-authored with two friends, C.K. Ogden and James Wood. C.K. Ogden invented the basic English. The meaning of meaning was also written by Richardson and C.K. Ogden. It relates to language. According to Richardson, the uses of language are the first one is represented by the stimuli affecting the mind through the senses immediately and also combining with what survives from comparable stimuli in the past. The second one is causation lies in the mind itself, its needs and its receptiveness. So according to Richardson, that language has two types of uses. So now we have to discuss about those. The first one is the scientific use of language. The scientific use of language relies on the reference undistorted by the receiving mind. The statement may be used for the sake of reference, true or false, which it causes. The connection and relations of references to one another must be logical. The scientific use should avoid ambiguity. It should have a fixed single meaning. It is known as denotive meaning. The second one and the second use of language is the emotive use of language. According to I. Richards, we can see also emotive use of language. The emotive use of language is designed to arouse emotions. The main purpose of emotive use of language is to evoke the feelings or emotions in the mind of the readers. The statement may be used for the sake of the effects in emotion and attitude produced by the reference. The logical arrangement is not necessary for emotive use of language, but the logical arrangement is very necessary for the scientific use of language. The emotive use encourages multiple meanings. Various connotations of the word are brought into play. It is connotative word. According to I.A. Richardson, in the poetry, there are four kinds of different meanings. So, for studying poetry, he gave four different kinds of meaning. So, in many net question papers, the question is asked, what are the four kinds of meanings according to Richardson in poetry? In his practical criticism, Richardson mentions about the four kinds of meanings. Those are sense, feeling, tone, intention. The first one, the sense. What does sense mean? The state of affairs or the items presented for consideration. Second one, feeling. The whole range of emotional attitudes, desire, pleasure, etc., that the words evoke. Feeling does not enter into some types of discourse. For example, mathematics. And the third one is tone, the attitude of the speaker to the audience. So that is tone, attitude of the speaker to the audience. Next, last part of meaning is intention, the speaker's conscious or unconscious intention, the effect he is trying to promote. So these are the four kinds of meanings in poetry according to I.A. Richards. And practical criticism. What that I.A. Richards said about practical criticism, he did one experiment with C.K. Ogden. So that is practical criticism. Richards asked a sample audience in Cambridge to describe their response to a set of 13 poems supplied without titles or the author's name. The students were not given any clue to the period in which the poems were written. The students were encouraged to read the poems more than once and given 1 week time to write down their comments. The selection of these comments forms the above book. The students did not show better performance in this activity. A large number of readers failed to understand it both as statement and expression. Okay, this is the end of today's class. So, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for the next coming new videos on literary criticism and literature, history of English language and American literature, European classics in English, and also rhetoric and prosody and Indian literature in English. So on this topic, in the next coming days, I am going to do this kind of videos and promote me, support me, and also subscribe my channel.